Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Dopamine Fiend, and today we're going to talk about the discovery of dopamine and how it ultimately hijacked humanity. My name is Emily, and this is your fix for today. So let's dig right in. So, before you saw dopamine all over the internet, before all the TikTok coaches, Instagram influencers told you to protect your dopamine, whatever that meant at that time, right? There was a bunch of scientists in the 50s who discovered it completely by accident. And what they found changed how we understand motivation, pleasure, and addiction forever. So let's rewind. It's the 1950s. Black and white TV era, typewriters, and scientists in white lab coats, and they're poking at brains, right? In Sweden, a man named Arvid Carlsson is studying Parkinson's disease. He's experimenting with this mysterious brain chemical, and he realizes something wild. When he gives animals dopamine, they start moving again. It was like watching life turn back on. Now, when I discovered this article, it did kind of make me sad. I'm going to be very transparent here. In the 50s, they weren't as conscious to animals as we are now, right? So they did test on animals. And more into that, they paralyzed rabbits. When I read that, it made me so sad. PETA, don't come after me. I'm just talking about it. But it was really sad seeing that it talked about how they paralyzed bunnies in hopes to rescue it. And in my mind, I was like, what happened if they didn't, right? I mean, thank goodness they found this, but, just how long did it take for them to find it? How many animals? Anyways, I don't want to digress, but so when he gives the animals dopamine, they start moving again. It was like a motivation switch. And Carlson later won the Nobel Prize for that discovery in 2000. Can you believe it? In the 50s, he discovered it, but he won the Nobel Prize for it in 2000, just 25 years ago. And within that discovery, it just meant that dopamine wasn't just about the movement, but it was about the motivation itself. And here's where it gets wild. This threw me for a loop too. So when other scientists started stimulating dopamine reward centers in animal brains, they used rats, literal rats, and the rats would press the lever hundreds of times an hour for another hit. They stopped eating. They stopped sleeping. They wouldn't even drink water just to keep their reward circuit firing. Doesn't that sound familiar to you guys? If you replace that lever with a phone screen, here we are. Same brain, different century. Now, I'm not calling us rat brains either. I don't want anyone to nitpick my words. Okay, I'm not calling us rat brains, but the reward center in the rat brain was similar to us, and therefore they got that was when the rats hit the lever hundreds of times an hour. Crazy. So us humans were not that different, as you see, because every like, every ding, every new message notification, that's your dopamine lever. And except now, we have entire industries built around it. All the social media, the shopping apps, the dating apps. They're not selling products, guys. They're selling dopamine loops to keep you stuck. Okay? And here's the kicker about this. Dopamine doesn't make you happy. Like I said in the first episode, it's not a happiness chemical. It makes you chase happiness. Do you get what I mean? Does that make sense? So it's not about making it like you're not happy from the dopamine. the dopamine is what gets you to the happiness. That's why the more you get, the more you want. It's why the high never lasts, and why your brain always just whispers, just one more, like a mini chant, just one more, But this isn't doom and gloom, okay? I don't want to get into the sadness stuff. It's really powerful if you think about it, because now we know where it's from. Now we understand it. We're going to understand it a little bit more, and we can start using it on purpose. You can train your dopamine system to crave the right things. Habits that actually build your future instead of draining it, So in a weird way, dopamine is both a blessing and a curse. It's what makes humans creative, driven, ambitious, but also addicted, impulsive, and distracted. Me included. I'm not privy to this, guys. I am the same way. I get distracted easily, and I even discovered about multitasking. Digressing again. See, this is me being aware of my dopamine, because I get distracted on other topics for dopamine. Anyways, so it's the reason that you're building empires, and the same reason that you binge Netflix. It's the same brain chemical. It correlates with the both good and bad. But the goal here isn't to demonize dopamine. It's not a bad thing. We just need to understand it a little bit more. Because when you get that right, you stop chasing all the fake highs, and you'll start designing real fulfillment in your life. So, next episode, we're going to talk about dopamine burnout, that flat, unmotivated feeling that hits your brain when you've been overstimulated for too long. And I'm connected to this in so many ways, and that's why I have to stop and tell you guys that I am also part of this. I get overstimulated a lot, and I've learned to just take a step back and breathe and work it out and feel it out and let the wave ride, right? We're going to go into how to reset, rebuild, and just start craving what actually matters again. So, if you've ever wondered why you're exhausted all the time, uninspired, or you just don't get excited anymore, you're not lazy. It's not laziness, guys. It's just dopamine depletion. So, hit follow, share, like, subscribe, whatever you have to do, because we're going to change just that. This has been Dopamine Fiend, backed by neuroscience, delivered with sass. I'll see you next episode.